So you want to start practicing perfumery? Great. Let me tell you exactly what materials you'll need and which to avoid to make a proper fragrance. We've got a lot to cover in this video, so let's get started. So the first and most obvious thing you'll need is a well-rounded set of natural and synthetic materials. Now, these are the building blocks of every fragrance, and mastery of these materials is the only way you'll make a successful and interesting fragrance. You'll want to make sure you start out with a well-rounded mix of materials. We're talking citrus notes, floral, woody, green, balsamic, ambers, spicy, aldehydic, and musky materials. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's pretty manageable. There are a bunch of starter packs available online that come with these materials already chosen for you. So I've had mixed experiences using them. So if you want a full breakdown of the materials that I use the most, then I'll do that in my next video. So next you'll need carrier materials. We use carrier materials as a means to dilute our aroma chemicals and essential oils. Perfume materials are never used at 100% intensity. It would be way too strong and you would miss the nuances that the materials would exhibit in the final diluted fragrance. So to compensate for this and to help you save money, we dilute each of our materials before use. To do this, you'll need a bottle of perfumer's alcohol, and it has to be perfumer's alcohol, which is a high-proof denatured alcohol that's specifically designed to be low odor and useful in perfumery. This is the most commonly used perfume carrier by commercial fragrance companies, but it's not the only way. You also have the option of using non-alcohol carriers like fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, or dipropylene glycol. You'll likely want to dilute your materials to around 10% for use in practice, but some materials can require a 1% or even a 0.1% dilution. It all depends on the intensity. So if you're using perfumer's alcohol for your carrier, then you'll likely want to invest in one of these bottles right here. So all you have to do is fill it with your alcohol, and this long nozzle here and the fact that this is a squeezable bottle helps you easily disperse the liquid in a very controlled way. You'll also need a set of pipettes. These are obviously necessary for dropping your materials for each of your fragrance. So be careful when you're buying these pipettes. I've noticed that the circumference of some of them is a little bit too much in practice. I tend to use these 1 ml pipettes because I like the smaller circumference of this dispersion point here. And a lot of times you'll get a 3 ml whenever you order a lot of products. They'll give you that 3 ml just as a bonus. But I find that circumference of that hole is a little bit too big. So each of the drops that I'm administering are like way too large for what I actually need for my perfumery purposes. So if I were you, I would start out with this 1 ml pipette. It's just a lot easier to control as you are using each material. Also, I want to give you a note of caution about using pipettes. I make sure to lay mine on a fresh paper towel after each use because when you're dealing with 10, 20, 30, or more materials at a time, it becomes so easy to get confused and accidentally dip your pipette in a new material or have one pipette touch another one. That cross contamination ruins the materials that you're working with. So use a fresh pipette, fresh paper towel, and immediately dispose of your pipette if you're no longer using it. This is an extremely expensive mistake to make, so you want to avoid that at all costs. Another hugely important investment for any new perfumer is a good scale. Unfortunately, a kitchen scale won't cut it for these purposes. You'll want a scale that can measure to the nearest 1,000th. So that's 0.001. Unfortunately, perfumers do not measure the materials just by the number of drops that you get from a pipette, and it's because the weight of these drops can vary dramatically. My drops can be anywhere from 0.006 to 0.025. I mean, that's a 4 times difference. Instead, you'll want to measure your materials by weight, and that's why you'll need a good scale. So the price of a good scale can vary, but I got mine for just a little over $100 online. So you'll need to use some vials for this journey as well. I like using these tinted amber vials. I use them for my material dilutions and I use them for my accords and when I'm making fragrances. I like these small amounts as I'm experimenting because you don't want to waste too much of your materials. These vials are 5 ml and they've been great for me. They do come in different sizes, and as you scale up and make different fragrances, of course, you might want to get a larger one. But if you start at this 5 ml amount, I think it helps you from overuse of your materials. So, scent strips are another very worthwhile investment. Scent strips have a thicker and more porous paper that holds on to the materials longer and allows you to evaluate your fragrances much more thoroughly. So, when you're starting out learning your materials, I suggest the first thing you do is dilute your materials, then put them on a scent strip. And then on that scent strip, I want you to name and mark the time that you dipped the strip. Then come back to that strip at different intervals throughout the day to see how that material evolves. So, check back every 30 minutes, then every hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours. And each time you do, take notes of what you're experiencing. Did the fragrance develop any new qualities over that time? Did it fade? All of these observations are key to mastering your materials. So you could always just bend your scent strips like this to leave them for observation with the part that has the oil on the top so it doesn't touch the table. But I actually like to use these name card holders that I found online. As you can see, it holds your scent strip upright. And so whenever you're writing anything on it, you could easily see it and you could smell and put it back down. So the last, but definitely not least, tool that you'll need as a new perfumer is a dedicated perfumery notebook. All good perfumers must take detailed notes. A good notebook is where you'll write your observations of the nature of these materials. Perfumes evolve over time. We make a fragrance and analyze how it changes over days and weeks. So you need notebooks to keep track of these changes. So I've mentioned the things that you definitely need when starting your perfumery journey, but I also want to mention a few things that you don't need to worry about buying. Well, not yet. So the first thing is a metallic spinner plate. These look very impressive and they do serve a purpose, but if you're just starting out, it's okay to use your hands to spin the materials to get started. That's okay. The second thing I would say are spray bottles and oil rollers. These are definitely necessary as you continue making fragrances and you want to see how they perform in the air and on your body. I just don't think you necessarily need to start out with them once you get going. You'll need them soon, but I wouldn't worry about it for your first order. The third thing I would say you do not need at the start of your perfumery journey is excess perfumery materials. Obviously, you'll need these in the future as you continue to expand your perfumer's organ and your knowledge of the materials, but to start, just focus on a small, well-curated batch of materials that you can use for nose training, creating accords, and practicing scent structures. Practice making a fougere, a chypre, an eau de cologne, or an amber accord. These things will help you recognize how each material works in a fragrance. Once you have that knowledge, you can buy more materials and you can do it from a place of experience. This way, this helps you avoid buying materials that are similar to ones that you already have and wasting your money. And believe me, I've definitely made that mistake too. But if you're curious about exactly what materials I recommend to get started, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button because that's exactly what we'll be talking about next week. Thank you for tuning in.